What is good, everybody? Back at it again with another video. Obviously, it was a crazy draft last night with some expected move, obviously, like Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and then a lot of people thought they were going Mac Jones. Some people thought Trey Lance. Some people even thought Justin Fields. It was Trey Lance, Kyle Pitts, number 4. And then, of course, the Raiders took Alex Leatherwood, which allowed the Vikings to not only trade down, well, they traded down before, but they traded down for 2/3, one of which is a second overall pick in the 3rd round, and got Christian Darrisaw, one of the best linemen in the draft, at pick 23, all because the Raiders are idiots. They picked Cleveland Farrell over Devin White. Last year they picked Damon Arnett. And you could even say Henry Ruggs compared to Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, and Jerry Jeudy was not a good pick. And my friends were like, oh no, they know what they're doing. No, they don't. They do not. Alex Leatherwood is fine. He could maybe go in the 2nd round. He's probably a 3rd round talent. Damon Arnett is a bust. Character issues, health concerns, injury concerns, drugs even. He's supposed to go like late 3rd round, and they picked him last year in the 1st round. Henry Ruggs is more of a one-dimensional player, as he's just a deep threat. I know he did a lot more than his statistics show, but still, when you see what Justin Jefferson did, when you see what CeeDee Lamb did, even Jerry Jeudy, I think, has more upside than Henry Ruggs does. But I had 8 picks correct. I'm going to make a video after the draft is all over about me calling out picks. Because, when Jamar Chase goes 5, I don't think Penei Sewell is going 6. It's not like, because it's like a matching quiz, right? One cancels out, so does the other. So you don't get one wrong, you get 2. But I knew then Jalen Waddle was going 6 to the Dolphins. I got the top 4 right with Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, and Kyle Pitts. I called those out. I got Penei Sewell right to the Lions. Jalen Waddle, like I said, to the Dolphins. I called Devontae Smith to the Eagles. Micah Parsons, called that to the Cowboys. Rashawn Slater, I called that to the Chargers. Justin Fields to the Bears once they came up. Technically, I said J.C. Horn, even though they said at the time when I recorded it was between Justin Fields or J.C. Horn. So I just had a feeling they were going J.C. Horn and giving Darnold a chance. Mac Jones, the Patriots, that was pretty obvious. Jalen Phillips, I called it and had it mocked. Caleb Farley, Virginia Tech, I had him going to the Titans. He fell to the Titans, and I called that one as well. Christian Darrisaw, I called that to the Vikings. And then I had Kwity Paye mocked to the Colts. So I had 8 picks right. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, 8 out of 32. But it was COVID. It was the first time ever people were watching tape from 2018 and 2019. And for reference, Daniel Jeremiah, you see his mock draft right here. Many people say he's the number 1 scout, number 1 mock draft guy. Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Kyle Pitts. So that's 3 picks correct, right? You go scroll down here. Devontae Smith, that's 4. Zaven Collins, 5. A lot of insiders had this pick, so I guess they were decided on that for a while. And then, wasn't the right pick, but we'll count it because it's the right team, Jason Oweh. So that's 6. He had inside information. He had 6 picks correct, and he's considered the number 1 scout. And I had 8, so I know it didn't seem 8 out of 32 doesn't seem like a lot, but it is considering COVID. NFL draft rankings. These are my rankings. I actually do have Kellen Mond above Texas A&M. I think he offers way more as an athlete, higher arm, higher ceiling in my opinion. Javonte Williams could go very early today. Michael Carter in there as well. Trey Sermon I think could go today. Jamar Chase, obviously Devontae, Waddle, Bateman. Tony, I'm not a big fan of Tony. Micah Parsons, high risk, high reward. Jermaine Davis is the probably number 2 or 3 best linebacker in the draft. True linebacker. And then Devontae Smith was a great pick, especially just not risking it, maneuvering, getting Jalen Hurts his guy. Tylan Wallace could be a day 2 pick. Dwayne Eskridge, Rondale Moore, Tamarian Terry. Picture the speed as Tyreek Hill. Some people say he's faster than Tyreek Hill, but at 6'2", 215, just is not high because he went to Florida State and suffered from bad quarterback play. And then Terrace Marshall and Elijah Moore could go very high today as well. I'm going to try to fly through these. Pat Freiermuth, I think, is going to go high in the 2nd round today. Whoever does not pick Pat Freiermuth from the Panthers or the Jags or the Jets, I think they'll take him. Brevin Jordan in the early 3rd, maybe could sneak in the late 2nd. Yeah, you see I had Alex Leatherwood ranked 9. For example, Christian Darrisaw 3. Tevin Jenkins could be the first lineman off the board today. Probably tackle Brady Christensen, Samuel Cosme, Liam Eichenberg, Radones, Jalen Mayfield, who's 20 years old. There's going to be a run of great offensive linemen, offensive tackles, and then there's going to be a run of interior guys. Only one went, Vera Tucker, Landon Dickerson, Creed Humphrey, Wyatt Davis, Trey Smith, Quinn Miners could all go today. Josh Myers as well. Aziz Ujulari's falling because of the knee injury, but he could go today. I think he will go today very easily. Carlos Basham, Ronnie Perkins. Carlos Basham is a massive man, 6'3", 285. Jason Owe, high upside player. Not the best right now, but he runs a 4.36 and he's a defensive end. And people say, oh, he didn't have a sack last year. Well, you know who had 13 sacks in the NFL last year? Trey Hendrickson. Trey Hendrickson is not better than Aaron Donald. It's called coverage sacks, or someone like Jason Owe gets the pressure and is getting double teamed and still puts pressure on the quarterback, which makes the quarterback move over to the right, and someone like Shaka Toney for Penn State comes in and cleans up the play. I only have 5 on defensive linemen, interior guys, because there's not many good ones. Barmore and Nixon offer the most pass rush. Unzaruki's probably the most balanced. Marvin Wilson would have been the best if he played like he did in 2018, 2019. It would have been a first-round pick probably if he went to the draft last year, but had a pretty rough year this year. And Milton Williams just offers you the upside. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Sometimes guys fall like him because they're not a linebacker, they're not a safety, they're not a nickel corner. They don't really have a place, but he could go as early as the first pick today in the second round. Jamin Davis, you see I have him 4 here, but as a true linebacker, he's either 3 or 2 for me. Him and Zaven Collins are fairly close, especially after me Davis's pro day. Jerrell Cox, great pass coverage linebacker, could not play at his pro day because of injury. Nick Bolton, pitcher, a poor man's Micah Parsons. Cameron Grown, high upside player. Had a weird year though, opting out then coming back in. Baron Browning, Ohio State. Pete Warner, Ohio State, and then Justin Hilliard, Ohio State. 3 linebackers that could maybe all go in day 3, but I think probably only 1, maybe 2 goes today. And then Chaz Surratt, super high upside player, went to North Carolina, and I believe played quarterback and switched to linebacker. Efetu Melifonwu. This is my class 2. I think these are the elite guys. I think these are the best. And then I think if Efetu Melifonwu could easily be in that class. I think he might be the first corner off the board today. Eric Stokes went yesterday. Asante Samuel, I think he's going to the Falcons or the Eagles just for that storyline. His dad played on both teams, but was in his prime with the Eagles. Elijah Molden, great nickel corner / safety. Paulson Adebo, smart, lengthy corner. Kelvin Joseph as well, except he punched a coach, so he might fall harder. Richie Grant, UCF. Trayvon Merrick could be easily the first pick today. Javon Holland, Andre Sisco, I think could all go today. And then Jamar Johnson, maybe. Devon Diablo, super high potential from Virginia Tech, but we'll have to see. We're just going to jump right into this now. I know it's a longer intro, but I just wanted to show you the top players. I broke it down also as well. Guys who I think could go in the early rounds here. Tevin Jenkins, Brady Christensen, Samuel Cosme. Fetu Melifonwu, Asante Samuel, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, definitely. And these are ranked by, like, it goes from position to position, not order. Michael Carter in there is mid-round. And these are not where they go, I just where they have them ranked. Davis Mills, I think, could slide in here today as well. I'm going to get right into it. This one's a tough one for me. Could be Barmore, could be Merrick, could be Owusu-Koramoah. Could be Tevin Jenkins. Trayvon Merrick. I think there's a way better chance that Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah isn't on the board at. They pick fairly soon. They pick at 40. Is it 45? 45. Pick 45 and 33. I know they need safety, but Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah can be the box safety. Rashawn Jenkins is more the coverage guy, so they take him and pair him up with Miles Jack on the outside, who can also cover at a high level, and then Joe Sherwood, just a run-stopping middle linebacker. That's a great combo. The Jets, this one's tough. They traded up to get Elijah Vera Tucker last year. Now they have Connor McGovern, who's a very solid center, Mekhi Becton at left tackle, and Vera Tucker at left guard. So from center to left tackle, they're solid, and right guard and right tackle, they're horrible. But at least they have his blind side, and they're just going to run the ball to the left every play. Could go Christian Barmore. Could go. I think the two. They don't have a. That's the Seahawks pick. So they don't. They only have one second round pick. They traded both their thirds now to the Vikings. I think it's going to be edge or interior. You look at the edge is still available. Azeez. Do they stop the fall of Azeez Ujulari, that injury? I didn't really know much about this injury, so very much could see it. Barmore's would allow Rankins to be on the inside and Quinn and Williams on the outside. You're going to be a team rebuilding for a while. You got to take the best player. Maybe he doesn't play right away because of the injury, or maybe but year two, Azeez Ujulari has to be the pick. You're betting on upside, and you're not going to be good this year, so you don't need to take the best player. You take the best player maybe for the future. The Falcons, corner and edge. You look at the corner still available. Asante Samuel sticks out. Javon Holland, they need safety, and then Ifeatu Melifonwu sticks out as well. And then edge with Ronnie Perkins. I'm gonna go Ronnie Perkins. Their edge rush is horrible, and now you've got two corners. AJ Terrell was okay last year, but with no pass rush. I just think you got to get a little pass rush and help out Terrell, and then get a guy in round 3, as there will be guys still available. The Dolphins, they went Jalen Phillips. They complete that defensive line with Christian Wilkins in there, Jerome Baker, Emmanuel Ogbah, and Bernardrick McKinney. So there's not many spots that they need. Could be Javonte Williams, but I always question why they would want a running back when Myles Gaskin was so good this year. And I think we kind of saw last night. As I say this, they'd probably take Javonte Williams, but I think Gaskins can play. I think he can flat out play, and I think they either draft a lineman, or I think they draft Barmore. Or no, I think it's got to be lineman. Could be Landon Dickerson as center is a little weak. But Robert Hunt is moving to right guard. Sullivan Kinley will start now at left guard. He was very good last year, as Eric Flowers was traded to Washington football team for a 7th round swap steal for Washington, as they only have to pay $3 million of his salary as well. Tevin Jenkins is only a right tackle, but Tua's a lefty, so that's Tua's blind side. And now the line is young and very solid. You know what I'm doing here. It's got to follow the storyline. Corner, Asante Samuel Jr. Great pick for the Eagles. Bengals. Wide receiver should not be in play. Left tackle and right tackle are okay with Jonah Williams and Riley Reef. Left guard, right guard, center, not the best at all. I think I'm going to go interior offensive line here. Landon Dickerson, Wyatt Davis, Creed Humphrey with arms wide open. I'm going to go Landon Dickerson just because he can play center, but maybe Trey Hopkins is finally healthy. Maybe Billy Price is okay, so then he can play guard. And then Quentin Spann was probably one of their best linemen last year at right guard. They re-signed him, so it can be okay. It's a lot better than what it was last year because he also signed Riley Reef. The Panthers they signed, they drafted J.C. Horn, so they're not going defense. They're not going corner, sorry. Could go offensive line, as there could be a run on guys. But I think Pat Freiermuth is just a little too much to pass up. He's not getting enough love because of Kyle Pitts, but last year would have easily been the best tight end in that class. The Broncos, I am sorry, but Patrick Surtain was not a good pick. You got Michael Ojemudia in the 3rd round last year, who was pretty good. Brought in Kyle Fuller and Bradley Roby, who you paid 3 years, $39 million. Ronald Darby. Kyle Fuller on a 1-year deal, and then Bryce Callahan in the slot, and drafted Patrick Surtain. I know people say because Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert in that division, but that doesn't mean you should have 5 corners that are all great, because they won't be on the field, and you can't just move one to free safety and strong safety, because it doesn't work like that. And also they have Justin Simmons and Kareem Jackson. I think it should have been offensive line if they were not going quarterback. But anyway, so Tevin Jenkins is gone. Walker Little, Dylan Radone's North Dakota State, kind of that Colorado type player, North Dakota State. Denver, Colorado, not too far of a drive, not too far of an airplane ride. Wide receiver has to be wide receiver. Rashad Perriman is not a good receiver. Terrace Marshall, just go up and get a guy. I know Elijah Moore's great, but probably Jared Goff is just going to need to throw it up in the air sometimes, and Terrace Marshall can easily do that. The Giants, they had a interesting day trading down, getting Kadarius Toney. This hurts because I really like him. Actually, wait. Interior. So Andrew Thomas and Matt Pert, first and third round picks last year. I think they hope they're solid at that position. Left guard, Will Hernandez. And then right guard, Zach Fulton or Shane Lemieux. And then center, Nick Gates. I still think this should be offensive line. They drafted Kadarius Toney. I think you got to go Creed Humphrey. You can solidify that interior as well. Maybe they go edge, and you can see them going edge, but I think Creed Humphrey is just a bit too much to pass up. 49ers. D Ford on the outside with Nick Bosa, and then maybe Barmore, but then Eric Armstead can play on the inside with Javon Kinlaw, first round pick last year. They have 4 top 10 linemen: Trent Williams, Alex Mack now at center, right tackle Mike McGlinchey, and Lake and Tomlinson at left guard. So I think this is going to be corner. I'm going to go with Fetu Melifonwu. I think he's my 5th corner in the class. Big fan of him, part of the super underrated corner class at Syracuse. Cowboys. They're going to be mad that they missed out on a Fetu Melifonwu. They have 3/3. I'm going to go Javen Holland here. Cedric Wilson plays strong safety. Holland can play free safety or the nickel corner. I think that's a good fit. And then who's still here? Trayvon Merrick. The Jags take the gamble by taking Jeremiah Scormo and still get their guy. Patriots, Elijah Moore. Way too much to pass up. Now you got Kendrick Bourne, Elijah Moore, and Nelson Aguilar. And then Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, and then Damian Harris, one of the most underrated backs in the NFL. That's a very good pairing for Mac Jones and Cam Newton. And top 3 offensive line. Chargers have to go corner. Fetu Melifonwu just went. So now there's a little bit of a dropout. Tyson Campbell. This one's interesting. Some guys have him as a first round talent because of the upside. I actually got to go soon. Tyson Campbell. I'm going to go Tyson Campbell just for the upside. You got time. Herbert's only in his 2nd year. Raiders. I'm going to take someone really bad. I'm not even joking. I'm dead serious. Linebacker. I'm going to take like a bad linebacker. Or not a bad linebacker, but a reach. Am I really going to do this? I can't. Yeah, Chastrat, they say they like the potential. Maybe he's a bit of a reach, but they take him. Cardinals. They went, did they go receiver? Maybe, but corner Aaron Robinson. Played on the slot, can play outside potentially. Is it really worth anyone taking here? No. I'm going to get a little gross here and go Rondale Moore, betting on the upside. Dolphins, here they are again. Javonte Williams is still on board, but I'm not going to take him. Center's potentially weak, but not really. Let's look at their roster. Whoops, I can't see anything, so sorry for mistyping. Offensive line is solidified. Wide receiver solidified. So, Phillips with Wilkins. Okay, this is going to be the Barmore spot. They stopped the slide of Christian Barmore. Take the upside, just like with Jalen Phillips. Washington football team. There's still only been 2 tackles that's gone. I think Liam Eichenberg, great left tackle. Now they have left guard Eric Flowers as well. They need to pick a tackle as well. So this is where the run's going to start. Jalen Mayfield. Ooh, that seems like a Bears type of pick. Michigan going over to Illinois. He's got time. You know, he's going to be young, 20 years old. Titans. They're going to go receiver. Where are they? Probably not. Probably not. Where do you go, De'Ami Brown? Yeah, you're going De'Ami Brown. Colts. Tackle. They waited, and they still got a guy they might have taken there. Brady Christensen staying in the blue and white. One of the most athletic tackles ever. Steelers. This should be interior offensive line. None of these guys can play center, though. So you're going to have to wait for the third to take a guy like Trey Hill or Drake Jackson from Kentucky. Tackle. Sam Cosmi. Villanueva replacement. Seahawks. They need corner help bad. They take Paulson Adebo out of Stanford, trying to get the next Richard Sherman. Rams. Is he still here? Yes, he is. They lost Troy Hill. Very underrated signing by the Browns. One of the best slot corners last year. Get his replacement with Elijah Moulton. The Chiefs, their offensive line solidified. This has to be linebacker. Here we go. Nick Bolton's still on board. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Pass coverage linebacker. Yeah, I'm going to go Jabril Cox, pass coverage linebacker. Browns, they need help on the interior. They didn't take one in round 1 because there's no one worth taking. They're going to go... I'm going to go Davion Nixon, offers that interior pass rush. Saints went edge. This should be corner 2. Aaron Robinson staying in that gold and black. Bills, this should be corner or edge. Oh, they went edge. Corner. Kelvin Joseph betting on the upside. Packers, they're going to go receiver, I hope, for Aaron Rodgers' sake. Amon-Ra St. Brown, high upside player. Chiefs. They go corner. Oh, they go edge. They got to go edge. Boogie Basham. There you go. And the final pick, they take the high upside player in interior guy. Where is he? Defensive end. Defensive interior. High upside Milton Williams. And there's still a lot of guys on board. Nick Bolton as well. Walker Little probably goes high. But I got to go shortly here. Yeah, but this is my draft final mock round 2. Not doing round 3 for the draft tonight. But there's super deep class receiver, lines, probably the deepest, quarterback as well. Tell me what you guys think down below. And I got this out a little earlier as well, so hopefully you guys can comment and watch this before the draft. Peace.